नेट पता नहीं क्यों नहीं चल रहा। नंबर आओ। तो हुआ नहीं। नहीं यार पता नहीं क्या लाइन में किया हुआ है मेरी उनको आना नहीं चाहिए।
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am Yash, your host for the show Brand Building in Gaming Community, a
This
post talk.
meeting is
A
being
very good evening,
recorded.
ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to each one of you present here on behalf of Chandigarh University. Today, we are joined with three most sensational influencers of the time. Without any doubt, I can say that they have revolutionized the gaming industry. Our very well known 8-bit Mamba, 8-bit Thug, and Ketan. Let's join them in a journey of ups and downs and learn how they have perceived success. If you have any queries or questions to ask, you can share your questions to us via Facebook. Hello, sir. Hello, Mamba, sir, Caitlin, sir, and Thug, sir. I
Hi
welcome
Yash,
you
What's up?
all. How are you, sir?
I'm good, I'm good,
All
all
good,
good.
all good.
So starting, I'm really enthusiastic for this very own session because people really look forward to you, and people of my generation really do. First of the thing that I would like to start with is, most of the viewers are big fan of yours, and so am I. We all have seen you guys to reach to a platform or the success that is exemplary and astonishing at the very same time. So what do you think, I want to listen to from you that, how did you turn to an extraordinary person from an ordinary being? That is my first thing to ask.
I would say ki it says nothing nothing like an extraordinary person. We did not do anything extraordinarily. I think what we did is that we pursued our passion very extraordinarily. When we realized ki when we like either of us we thought that we want to go into the field of content or maybe gaming. I think the urge that we had towards that, the passion that we had towards gaming, that was so strong that and the way we tried to reach where we are today, the things that we did in that part was so focused, so well focused, and so much more like so much passionately towards reaching a particular point is what made this place where we are standing right now sound extraordinary. But I would say ki, it's not like no person is extraordinary, it's just that ki what efforts you are putting in towards in your journey. Most of the people, when you're not pursuing your academic career, or if it's not purely academic and you want to do something that is vocational, something that is out of the track, what happens is that there is a point of time when you have those downsides, you generally people tend to quit. So obviously both me, all three of us, me, Mamba, Ketan, we had our points, we had our lows at that point. But what we did was not stopping and just being consistent in what we want to do and not thinking too much about the results. Because when I started gaming, that's 3 years back, and there have been gamers who started even before me. When I started, then gaming was like almost not even a well-known, forget a profession, like people not even know what gaming is in India. So when I started, then I took a risk, but the point was I always knew that I want this risk to pay off for myself, and in the process, if I'm able to set up something else for everyone, for the community, for the industry, then that's just a cherry on the top. So I would say ki when to reach at such a level in any field that you want to do, it be gaming or anything that is non-academic, even in academics, you need to be passionate about your studies and everything. So I think wahi cheez zaruri hai, being just consistent and not losing your focus could be the key. That's my say.
You made it a very clear thing. Moving forward, I have a very basic question that a lot of young generation people have. Being a part of this country, India, you are socially being stigmatized if you're a player of any kind. There is a very famous saying that "Padhoge likhoge, ho gaye Nawab, and and the rest
Right.
is all of us know, because that is the thing. So I want to know that, have you ever been a part of stigma? Any kind of social stigma that the person is playing games only. That is a stigma in our country. And did your parents or your guardians look forwarded to you, and they accepted you in the starting? Is it so?
Right. I think in my case, I'll let others speak as well. But in my case, the thing was a little bit different. I started gaming pretty late in my career, like like at the age of 22. But before that, I was doing I was all into studies. I'm a CA finalist. I did CFA, FRM level one. So I did a lot of academic stuff. I had a proper backup. So for me, it was just 1 year of taking risks. That's why aaj bhi when someone asks me ki what exactly, like how do I start, I always tell him, remember him or her. I tell the person that remember that gaming cannot be your only goal. That you cannot think right now being in India that I just want to game and I don't want to do anything else. There's something that I tell everyone who has the time to study, still the time to study. You are in your college or maybe in your like class 10, 11, 12. I always tell prepare for your both. Those are important. Have a backup, because when I had a backup, I would it was very easy for me to take a year off and try gaming, and it eventually paid off. And even today, if maybe something does not really go well with my career, I can always go back, give my CA finals, and maybe get a good job. So I would say for me, acceptance was very easy with my family because I was doing pretty good academically, and they always knew I had backup. So I would say it was a perfect balance of me first trying to listen to what my parents had to say, because I still feel that they are the best guide that we get, and then trying to pursue my passion at a later stage of my career, I would say.
That's so. I would like to ask the same question to Mamba sir and Katie sir. Was the scenario at your house same? Like, were you accepted in the initial stage of your gaming or
Backup, because
vlogging?
when I had a
There is
backup,
a lot of things.
it was very easy for me to take a year.
So, Mamba sir, if you could
Yeah,
enlighten me
sure.
some.
So the thing was, I belong to a middle class family. My father was a professor. He's retired now. So yeah, I started my gaming, mobile gaming basically. Everybody used to game. Everybody had like computers and everything in their childhood. So everybody, I guess, all the guys and all the girls, I guess, at some point of time, they used to game, right? But my mobile gaming, I started it like 2000 in 2012, and I used to like it. I used to like playing. But the thing is, when I was in engineering, I was in my final year of my grad. So what I did was, I was so much passionately into it that my father did not like it initially, because he was a professor and I was in the same department as he was in. So he was a professor there and I was a student. So yeah, it was difficult for me because my grades went down. So he would want that he wanted that I completed my graduation in a good manner and then I go for a job and everything. And but the thing is, I could not satisfy them with what I was doing. I could not like make them understand that, oh, how am I going ahead in this sort of career. I did not build a career out of it till then. But the parents demand results, do whatever you want, but when they see that, yeah, you are doing good out of it for yourself, then they are okay with everything. So I started streaming. I was searching for the job. Till that time I completed my grad, and I opted for a job. I start doing job, and then for like 3 4 months I was into my job, and then I was not liking it. I dropped out of my job, and I decided to do it, and my father did not like it. He did not speak to me for like 1 month or so. Thug knows it all. I was living with him, and he was living here in Delhi at that time. But the thing is, when I showed him that, yeah, how much I was earning, and I'm confident that, yeah, I'll build something for myself, then yeah, he was okay with it, because as I said, that they demand results out of it, that you are doing good, and they still question me that what lies ahead for you. After like 3 4 years, you are doing good for yourself right now, but what is coming to you for like 3 4 years from now? So that is one thing I always like to plan about, but for the moment I do not want to ruin what I have right now. So
Yes.
I'm focusing on doing what I'm good at right now, and I'm going with the flow. But yeah, sooner or later I'll figure something out for myself, and I'll do something good for the future itself.
It's really amazing, sir. So, Katie sir, you did had the same, or you might have some different scenario, I guess.
So initially, it was not at all easy for me personally, like to grasp everything, like what was going on my life. Like I started YouTube in 2017, like which was way back. Like no gamer was there in the mobile industry who was playing game and recording each day. So I was doing live stream. Like Kariminati, I guess he was the one who did started that in that same period when I started. So my family uh, was not that much involved when I until I got my first threshold from YouTube. So that was, I think, one of the greatest breakthrough for me to you can say to get you can say an agreement from my family that you can pursue this as a career. Like that time, 7,000 rupees like from a month, like even that was also something a good amount of money for me as a
Yes.
17 or 18-year-old kid. So and after that, like everything went through, and I was just going with the flow. And just I just want to do one thing like that is not orthodox. I want to do something different. Like if you are following something that is already going in a crowd, then you are basically in the crowd. If you want to stand out of
Yes.
that crowd, then you have to do something unorthodox. That is what I'm following right now, and I'll be following that in upcoming future also.
Yes, and truly, listening to all of you guys, it is not a part of Indian culture that you follow something that you like. You always have to do, you have to be best in academics and then do the second thing. You get my point.
Exactly. Yes.
So that has been, looking at what I mean from the starting, that people look forward to you, because there are very less number of people who do the things that they like, passionately. And having been watching you guys, and it's really 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 amazing for me or whole of the generation who is really into gaming and everything. You guys are vlogging, you guys are gaming, you guys are doing everything, you're commentating, so it's out of the blue for some people because they can't do these jobs. Everyone wants to be in MNC or something like of that sort. And what do you think, as in what do you think as a future, as in a future of gaming for young generation people? Because I think India is a place where gaming is evolving certainly, but hasn't evolved like other countries like US or whatever, European countries. So what do you think on that?
I'd say, see, the future looks bright, but but the point is that it's still a speculation and it's not something that we are certain of. I would definitely not say we are certain of. If you are, so it depends. See, when we talk about gaming, there's a common thing that has happened with everyone. When we talk about a career game, people think becoming a player or becoming an esports player. But people need to realize that there are so many other well-paying verticals in gaming, or other verticals which have a very good career. Like even for take example of my organization. In our organization, we need a very good graphic designer. We need a great 3D motion designer. We need someone who knows coding so that they can help us with temporary software building, website building, helping us in app development. We need someone from a very good management background who can help us manage the HR part. We need someone who is great in marketing. So the problem क्या हो रहा है, I would switch to Hindi, is that सबको लग रहा है कि when हम लोग गेमिंग की बात करें, it needs to be just becoming a player. But लोग ये नहीं सोच रहे कि अल्टीमेटली एक बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है, गेमिंग एक बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है जिसमें बहुत अलग अलग टाइप के रोल्स अभी प्ले कर रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप कोई बड़ी लाइक से जियो गेम्स की अगर हम बात करते हैं, इफ यू गो टू जियो गेम्स इट्स नॉट ओनली दैट कि इट्स नॉट हायरिंग प्लेयर्स राइट नाउ. व्हाट इज इट डूइंग? इट्स मे बी हायरिंग डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ मैनेजर्स जो गेमिंग का थोड़ा नॉलेज रखते हो. सो देयर कुड बी पैशनेट गेमर्स हु आर नॉट गुड प्लेयर्स, but maybe they are great software engineers for say. So then you could maybe, or you are great, you are a great graphic designer but you are a passionate gamer. So उसमें क्या asset build होता है हमारे लिए कि एक gaming company या gaming organization who is looking for a GFX artist who knows about gaming. So there are a lot of different kind of roles. I would say कि उसमें void ज़्यादा बड़ा है if you compare to the player side. See,
Exactly.
player side is all
Yes.
about skill set and then आपको वो खेलना होगा, you need to grind and all that. But लोग ये नहीं समझते कि even game developers की हम बात करें, recently so many Indian companies announced a budget pool for like $10 million. हम लोग 10 कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, will find new developers and will try to help their project sustain. So there are so many opportunities for game design and game developers. Like Raji did so well last year when it got launched. We all supported. I had a word with Avichal also. If you when you meet these people, you realize कि it's been like बहुत लंबे टाइम तक उन्होंने hard work, consistency, patience, focus रखा तब जाके यहाँ पे. And even they were passionate gamers, but they took, but like they merged their passion for gaming with their profession of their choice, and then they entered the world of gaming. So I would say कि स्कोप बहुत बड़ा है, बट आपको ये सोचना होगा कि इट्स नॉट ओनली कि आपको एक प्लेयर बनने से आप गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री में हो. गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री में बहुत सारे वर्टिकल है. And if you are pursuing a particular degree, if you are pursuing something academically, that can be used in gaming. Matlab, you could be a passionate gamer, and maybe if you are doing in the field of commerce, if you are CA, यार बड़े-बड़े gaming companies को देने CA, and the culture is वहाँ पे ऐसा. Like if I have an in-house accountant and he's a passionate gamer, he can play जब वो free and he can. So it's about, you need to understand how you want to be attached with the gaming industry overall. लोगों को अब गेमिंग में अपना ये सोच हटाना होगा, स्पेशली व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग फॉर अ करियर, कि मैं खेलूंगा तो ही मैं गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री में हूँ. आई मीन लाइक वो तो बहुत ऊपर की बात होगी, एंड दैट इज समथिंग जिसमें ऑलरेडी बहुत कंपटीशन है. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द किड्स आर ऑलरेडी ट्राइंग दैट. बट इफ समवन इज सेंसिबल एंड वांट्स टू लुक एट द लॉन्ग टर्म एस्पेक्ट, देन उनको ये एंगल एक्सप्लोर करना चाहिए. इफ यू आर नॉट गुड एट गेम्स, ट्राई डूइंग समथिंग एल्स दैट कीप्स यू इन्वॉल्वड इन द इंडस्ट्री, आई वुड से.
Yes, exactly. Because मुझे जो पता चला आपकी बातों से, you can be a software engineer plus you can have a keen interest in gaming, and that makes you stand out in the very specific industry, like gaming industry, right? That is what you meant. So, having been said that, that was really some kind of myths are being brushed up, because there were a lot of myths. So there is one more myth, I would say, talking about myths. They say that people, again, I'm talking about the players or everything, because it's a myth. They say that players or the people who play, who are in front of PC or desktop, they're always very antisocial. Have you seen anything like that? Because having been done that in very same place.
Not for us. I can like हम लोग तीनों, like I know for these guys as well.
But sir, other people like.
But ऐसा नहीं है. We love meeting people. I mean like Ketan तो like he's transitioned from gaming to vlogging. इसके में I think Ketan can explain better.
Yes. Ketan. I have seen your vlogs, sir. I've really seen them, and and one more question again, for young people, how can, a very inquisitive question from a being asking that, how can young people join 8-bit in any of the ways, anyways?
So I think that question Thak can answer well.
But you can talk about that antisocial thing, like gamers be like.
So for sure, antisocial is like a big topic. Like I know many players who are only involved in their competitive scenario, and they don't like to get socialized, like when it comes to you can say, rather than you can say the off time, off camera, or off game, how they behave with person. I personally don't even like जब हमारे LAN tournaments भी होते थे, तब each and every player used to come into only one hotel room, and वहाँ पे सब लोग fun करते थे. But they are still those kids who are sleeping like from 10 p.m. and they wake up early morning. They have their own schedules, like right. So अगर हम क्रिकेटर से अगर इस चीज को थोड़ा सा मान लो कि रिलेट कराते हैं, तो each and everyone have that, you can say, preparation time अपना. So सारे players भी वही same regime अपना follow करते हैं. If they want to listen to song, they will listen to song, and if someone wants to talk to someone, बहुत लोगों की आदत होती है LAN tournament से पहले just to get their hesitation out of themselves, तो वो लोग अपने मैनेजर से, एनालिस्ट से, या कोच से, ओनर से, उनके साथ आके बात करते. तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें जो होती हैं, एंड यू कैन से एंटी सोशल होना भी कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. लाइक जस्ट बी who you are. Like I know Ash, he was I think ex 8-bit player, and I think he is one of the most inactive player in competitive scenario if you talk about socializing, but still he is doing well.
Well, yes, exactly.
That's right.
Yes. One more question I have for you only. You have entered, you have been commentating a lot of matches nowadays. I have seen, so how did you enter very same place? Also, it's a very diverse field of commentating. It requires a lot of creativity. Is there any kind of motivation, I would say, or something that keeps you going every time? Is there anything of sort?
So as Thug mentioned, and आपने भी एक बहुत ही अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा था थग से कि क्या गेमिंग का मतलब सिर्फ कॉम्पिटिटिव सिनेरियो में एंटर करना है. मैं बोलूंगा नहीं. एंड जैसे मैंने अपने क्वेश्चन का आंसर दिया अनऑर्थोडॉक्स, आई डोंट वांट टू बी अ गेमर लाइक टिपिकल गेमर जो पूरे टाइम 10-10 घंटे बैठ के अपना यू कैन से जो खेलते हैं एंड उसके बाद टूर्नामेंट से परफॉर्म करते हैं. आई वांटेड टू बी अ कास्टर. आई परस्यूड दैट. स्टार्टिंग में ऑब्वियसली देयर वर कास्टर्स, बट पबजी मोबाइल के साथ अगर आप कोई भी चीज अगर आप लिंक करते हो, आई थिंक वो और प्लस जाती है. There were many CS casters, and I think they was doing well in Indian circuit as well, and as well as in the international circuit. But वो same चीज को transition आने में PUBG Mobile was there, and I thought कि why not to get into this, and मैं बहुत better यू कैन से पोर्ट्रे कर सकता हूँ कोई चीज को, अगर कोई मेरी चीजें कोई सामने चल रही है, सो व्हाई नॉट टू एंटर इनटू दैट। सो कास्टिंग इतना ऐसा मुश्किल नहीं है। मैं तो सिंपल बोल रहा हूँ, अगर आपको कास्टिंग सीखनी है तो आप अपने फ्रेंड को साथ में बिठाओ, उसकी आंख में पट्टी बांध दो, ठीक है, ब्लाइंड फोल्ड कर दो उसको, एंड सामने गेम चला दो। यू जस्ट हैव टू स्पीक इनटू दैट गेम। आपको इतना अच्छे से कमेंटेट करने की, वो सुन नहीं रहा बट उसको समझ सब आ रहा है कि फाइनल सर्कल में क्या हो रहा है, कौन सी गन कौन सा प्लेयर यूज कर रहा है, कौन से रिजेस है। तो आपको वो वर्ड्स, वो एक जो टर्मिनोलॉजी होती है, वो अच्छे से सुनानी है, बस दैट्स इट। ही कैन नॉट सी, बट ही
Yes.
शुड फील इट कि भाई क्या चल रहा है, वो इमोशंस, वो जो वॉइस एक होती है। सो दैट इज समथिंग आई लाइक्ड अबाउट कास्टिंग। एंड फ्रॉम देयर ऑन 2019 January custom happened, and they're on organizers from PUBG Mobile India, they gave me a chance and I grabbed that. Glad.
It was, you know what, मैंने आप सबसे इतने टाइम में ये सीखा है और ये जाना है आप लोग के बारे में, you all had different interests, like you like games but you had an interest और आपको अच्छा लगता था to commentate or to speak or something, so you took both of these things hand in hand. So that is one of the things that we as young or any people in the country really need to learn this, because whatever your interests are plus wherever you're working, you need to find that collateral space. That's something you all have been we all have been talking about. And one more, there are going to be exceptional questions. So what are your you have any five typical games that you like, any five like favorite ones or something that you are looking forward like in years?
Cricket 19, Cricket 07, I think one of the favorite, जब मैं पहले बचपन में खेला करता था। एंड उसके बाद एक रोड रैश करके गेम होती थी, वो मैं बहुत बहुत खेला। क्लैश ऑफ क्लैंस शुड बी ऑन द टॉप, बिकॉज उसको खेल के मतलब एक होता है ना कि फोन की स्क्रीन के ऊपर पूरा जितना फोन गर्म हो जाता है कि वो जो उसके आउटप्रिंट्स छप जाते हैं, मेरे
Yes.
फोन में वैसा हो गया था कि इतना खेल लिया था कि आउटप्रिंट्स स्क्रीन के, बाइट स्क्रीन में देखोगे तो उसका रिफ्लेक्शन दिखता है, तो वैसा हो
COC
गया था।
COC तो trendsetter था sir. It was a trendsetter. I think that was the initial, like everybody was playing online game. That was the one of the first starting online games that I remember. I might be wrong.
Yeah, that was
Also,
launched on 2020, so it should be, I think, one of the oldest.
yes, exactly. So now one more question I'm up with. My my mind is fickling around with a lot of questions. You guys, are you different? What is the difference in real life or real life? Like, are you guys same what you are in your vlogs, or are you a little bit different? Because everybody has that personal life and different life. Everybody. So I want to ask you all guys that how's your real and real life different? Is there any difference of any sort?
So the thing is कि obviously on screen तो हम लोग एक अलग मतलब we are like for me अगर if the audience are watching me then I'm obviously 8-bit Mamba for them, and real life में yeah, I'm obviously Salman for some people who have known me for years, no. So the thing is, but the main thing is what a content creator should do is not people just show people that you are like for me I should not show them that yeah I'm 8-bit Mamba. I should be showing them both of the sides, because for a content creator the audience should connect with that guy very well. It does not apply for an esports player or something like that, but the thing is content creators should always, for what I think is he should always let the people know his real side too, because that is the best part a content creator can offer for his audience. Because if they are going to like only 8-bit Mamba, say for my example, or 8-bit Thug in his example, or Ketan K18, but if I'm anyhow able to merge my real life, my real character with it, then they'll absolutely love it. That is the main reason I think people love us as content creator. In Ketan's scenario, they love his vlogs because he is able to portray his real side. He is able to show that what we are behind the scenes, captured in a 10-minute, 12-minute vlog. So yeah, on stream, me and Thug also try to do the same. That is the main reason we should do, and yeah, that's it. I think that is the main thing.
Very
Every
true.
content creator should
Authenticity
do.
is the word, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
that that makes you
Wrapped
all.
up in a word. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And we were talking about did your parents support it and everything. But I had a question. A lot of parents do not support their children in this specific field. We talked. There are very different kind of segregation, and as Tag sir said, you can be a software engineer plus a gamer. Have an interest in gaming. But there are a lot of young or a lot of people who have interest in gaming and everything, but their parents do not support them. So would you like to give them some word that how do they encourage their parents or something like that to encourage them in the very field?
I'd say, your parents not supporting wala thing is, it's very simple. I think your parents don't support you when they think that this thing is not right. So there are two ways to go about it. Either you win your parents trust us level pe, your parents are fine with every decision you take. मतलब if you have been a good son or daughter to your parents, and मतलब उनको अगर आप पे भरोसा है उतना कि उनको पता है कि कोई भी डिसीजन ले अपने लिए, then they are good enough. तो एक वो कंसेप्ट रहता है. Second is like I said, see, गेमिंग को भी मेन स्ट्रीम करियर बनने में देयर टाइम. तो आप if you are 16 17 18 or maybe उस लेवल पे, and you just got into a very good engineering college and you suddenly want to say कि नहीं आज मुझे सब कुछ छोड़ के गेमिंग करना है, then I would say उसमें पेरेंट्स को समझने की भी जरूरत है, because that is not viable. See, सब एक चीज होता है, you start early, you start late, you start at the middle of the thing, ठीक है. सो अभी मैं ये बोलूंगा कि अभी भी गेमिंग इज लाइक बहुत स्टार्ट है. सो लाइक यू डोंट नीड टू, ये जो मेजर हमारे जनरेशन में इशू है ना फोमो का, सो आई थिंक फोमो वाला चीज नहीं के वजह से लोग बहुत गेमिंग करना चाह रहे हैं. दैट शुड नॉट बी द रीजन. देयर आर सम प्लेयर्स दैट हैव बेन हु आर सो पैशनेट अबाउट विनिंग द ट्रॉफी. मतलब उनका पैशन लेवल फॉर विनिंग द ट्रॉफी इज समथिंग दैट्स अनमैच्ड. देन देयर आर सम गेमर्स हु आर सो पैशनेट अबाउट देयर चैनल कि उनको अपने चैनल को हमेशा ही वांट्स टू एंश्योर कि रोज फ्रेश कंटेंट जाए, यू गेट दोस व्यूज इन. तो उस लेवल का पैशन है. राइट नाउ व्हेन आई टॉक टू अ majority of chunk of the normal masses, what I have seen कि FOMO बहुत बड़ा factor है. Secondly, they are misguided. They just think कि I'll start gaming, my father will buy me a very expensive PC and I'll end up as a very good gamer. That's not how it works. सब कुछ बहुत planned तरीके से होता है, and सब कुछ के लिए and also since because it's a game of skill, तो स्किल वाला फैक्टर भी आती है. दैट इज समथिंग जो नॉट नेसेसरी कि आप 3 3 4 4 साल 5 5 साल खेलने वाले प्लेयर्स भी नहीं उस लेवल का स्किल सेट ला पाते हैं, बिकॉज दे समवन एल्स इज आल्सो ग्राइंडिंग एंड दैट पर्सन रीचेस एट टू अ बेटर प्लेटफॉर्म. सो आई वुड से कि जो पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस होती है इसमें, सिंपल, हैव अ बैकअप एंड देन मतलब try to convince them by showing them the good sides. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि also you need to understand where you come from, ठीक है. If you think कि it could be a decision that changes your life completely, obviously आपके parents agree नहीं करेंगे, and I would not support it as well. कि it's a life changing decision for your family, for your background and for your career. So like in my case, मैंने जब ये decision लिया, it was not life changing for me. मेरे लिए सिर्फ मेरा CA या बाकी डिग्रीज एक साल के लिए मैं डिले करने का सोच रहा था, which was very much possible. I was 22, आराम से, क्या दिक्कत होती है. I would have done my CA by 24 and a half, और अगर मैं एक साल मेरा वेस्ट भी जाता तो उस लेवल का करेक्ट प्लानिंग के साथ when you present a proposal, that's when your parents would agree. However, बहुत केसेस ऐसे होते हैं, see, I can speak for myself because I know where I come from, मेरा क्या बैकग्राउंड है and all that. तो ये सारे फैक्टर्स भी है, पर्सनल इमोशनल, that come into play because it's a career choice. Ultimately आपके ऊपर, बहुत सारे बच्चों के ऊपर उनके माँ बाप का फ्यूचर भी डिपेंडेंट रहता है. When they are born, when they have taken care for you for 20-21 years of your life, then they expect something out of you as well. तो उन चीजों का ध्यान भी रखना पड़ता है. So circumstances की बात है, आप किस circumstance में हो, is it really a viable option for you, is it the only option for you, तो वो सब चीजों को सोचना होता है. So I would say माँ बाप का मानना नहीं मानना is like not the correct criteria. I would say it would all depend upon what you have done in the last 20 years and how you present your case in front of your parents. And फिर भी अगर नहीं माने, मतलब listen to them, कोई बात नहीं. Later about your career में try to मतलब maybe get closer to what they want for you and then get into it, because it's never too late. मतलब ये मत सोचो कि if you are 16 17 18 20 and you are entering the gaming industry, कुछ हो नहीं पाएगा. मतलब some like even Mamba is like I think 28 29, तो ऐसा कोई सीन नहीं है. Started gaming when he was 26 27. तो there is nothing called late यार. अपने मतलब अपना circumstance अच्छे से जानो and then try to present a case for gaming in front of your parents.
So what I get from you is, everybody has to prove themselves before getting into the deep end of the gaming industry.
I mean, like if अगर आप कल जाके suddenly बोलोगे I want to become a singer or a dancer, it's not realistic. मतलब आपके parents बोलेंगे कैसे, ठीक है, I'll get you a class, I'll get you a coach, and then what? Then how do you achieve? You maybe go into a reality show and you win, but there's no criteria of becoming, there's no judgment criteria of becoming a dancer. Although जो classical dancers होते हैं, I know they have courses, but then that is a different thing. But जब हम लोग बात करें कि मुझे एक dancer बनना है, want to go to DID or something, तो उसका कोई criteria नहीं, it's very abstract. When we call becoming a gamer, it's abstract. कोई degree या कुछ नहीं है, डिग्री होके भी स्किल तो नहीं आएगा, लाइक वो वाला बात है, पीपल पास पीपल टॉप, वो वाली कंसेप्ट है. सो वो चीज को माइंड में रखना चाहिए कि इट्स, एंड आल्सो पीपल थिंक गेमिंग इज अबाउट क्विक मनी. देयर इज वन अदर मिसकंसेप्शन दैट इज इन आवर जनरेशन. अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल वांट टू एंटर गेमिंग क्योंकि लग रहा है पैसा है. आप ये देखो किस सेक्शन के पास पैसा है, कितने कम परसेंटेज ऑफ दिस एंटायर पीस ऑफ केक के पास पैसा है, एंड आप उनका स्टेटस देखो, हाउ दे रीच देयर. मतलब लाइक Ketan said he started in 2017. I वैसे started gaming in 2016 when Clash Royale got launched. Mortal started way back, I think mini militia के टाइम में, that was also 2017-16. So सब लोग का हिस्ट्री काफी लंबा है, एंड जब हम लोग ये सब कर रहे थे, we were still maintaining a parallel career. Like Mortal was trying to do LLB and all that stuff. मैं अपना कर रहा था, Ketan कुछ कर रहा था, Mamba was doing engineering. So आप एक समझ लो कि हम लोग ने बहुत प्लान तरीके से किया, and very few, very कि मतलब जो वेरी फ्यू है ना, वो बहुत लकी भी है और वो बहुत ज्यादा हार्ड वर्किंग है कि दे रीच दिस स्टेटस विदाउट एनी बैकअप. तो वो भाई 10 लाइक इन मिलियंस दे आर 100, सो यू कैन नॉट मैच दैट रेशियो डज नॉट से कि आपको सब कुछ छोड़ के गेमिंग करना है. लाइक आई सेड, अब आप जो कर रहे हो उसमें भी यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट द टच कि हाउ यू कैन एंटर द गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री, एंड देन पैशनेटली गेम ही तो खेलना है ना. व्हाई डू यू वांट टू बिकम अ गेमर? यू वांट टू प्ले गेम पैशनेटली, तो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट वेज टू डू अबाउट इट.
Yes. And I have one more thing to say our general public, that we will be taking your questions through Instagram pages and Facebook page and our YouTube page. You can put your questions, okay, there. So next, moving forward, the thing, it was a deep thought of yours, to talk about. But I think, I'm very proud of being part of this institution where I am, like Chandigarh University, if I talk about, because I think we as a community and we as a college and university are organizing esports carnivals. We as a community are encouraging a lot of students to do things that they like, that right. To put forward a platform for them to play their hobby. That is one of the things, because I think the educational system of the country, if that changes, that will enroute to the parents, and ultimately the children will be benefited by that, right?
मतलब वो तो है ही. सी सो दिस इज अनदर थिंग, लाइक इन इंडिया वी हैव ECA कोटा वी एंड ऑल दोस इन कॉलेजेस, जहाँ पे क्रिकेटर, फुटबॉलर्स, ये सबको यू गेट थ्रू अ कोटा सिस्टम एज वेल. अब ऑब्वियस सा बात है कि जब गेमिंग वहाँ पे आएगा, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट चंडीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी डिड, I would say it's a very daring thing to actually bring gaming such mainstream on such a big tech event. So एक ये भी बहुत kudos to the people involved who think that gaming has a future and gaming is something that can be brought mainstream. But I would say still, yes, we are still बहुत दूर है मुझसे where gaming को इतना importance मिलेगा कि it becomes a part of the ECA quota and हम लोग education system के उसको merge कर सके. But some things that can be done is like, maybe if you're talking about the course of game designing, or maybe advanced graphic designing or motion designing, या फिर आप esports management की बात करो, या इन अगर आप courses की बात करो, these are some things that can be gradually brought into the system. But I would still say कि अगर ऐसा कोई कोर्स आया, ठीक है, and so many people join, but फिर इंडस्ट्री भी उतनी बड़ी होनी पड़ेगी कि when you guys pass out, you are able to absorb your talent. Yes. Otherwise it would lead to unemployment. वो तो बहुत बड़ा disaster हो जाएगा. So when people talk about people randomly pass comments कि गवर्नमेंट को रिकॉग्नाइज करना चाहिए, लोगों को ये भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सोचना चाहिए कि if people start taking gaming as a mainstream career, क्या इंडिया में उतनी बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है जो अब्यूज पूरे टैलेंट पे एक बार में एब्जॉर्ब कर पाएंगे?
एब्जॉर्ब कर सकेंगे. Yes.
The answer is no. Like majority of the people will end up as being freelancers, and we don't want कि ऐसा scene हो जहाँ पे people are मतलब you are not getting rewarded the way you should be. So I would say कि let's wait patiently 2-3 साल 4 साल जब भी, because we are 20 years behind the West. तो 20 साल बाद वहाँ पे आया है courses, 20 साल बाद we have universities offering such courses. तो इंडिया में भी time लगेगा. So I would say कि it's a thing of patience. ज़्यादा stretch करेंगे रबड़ को, it will just break up and everything will just fall off. I would say कि सब लोग carefully अगर decisions लें, then we are all good and set.
Yes, completely. And I'm very proud to say one more thing, that we have one of the students, his name is Ravinandan Singh. He's from BSc Animation, and he's been working really hard to prepare these things specifically in terms of gaming industry.
Okay.
Right. So I really want to give a shout out to him, because he's doing really great job in the very particular field, because the field itself is very unexplored, I would say, by a general public. right? There is one more question that I would like to take up from the people. you know uh, Hats off to you guys, from CA aspirant to the co-owner of S8UL, cricketer to a professional blogger and a content creator. Lots of love and support to S8UL. They say keep up with the same energy and same intensity. This is some people, offering love to you. And there is one more question, that is, at which point an organization get a sponsor? And as an underdog organization, how to reach to sponsors, what to do to impress them, or any kind of referral that you could have.
Um,
This is the question.
Right. So I would say, see, so why would someone sponsor you? अगर आप किसी का भी goal देखो, there needs to be two things to it. Either you're performing so well, and you're performing at a platform that is looked up by lots of people. सीधी बात बताता हूँ. देखो marketing का जो sponsorship आती है, वो ultimately marketing budget से आता है. ठीक है. इंडिया में भी e-sports वो नहीं हुआ है कि कोई कंपनी बोलेगी कि we would tie up and launch your range of products. E-sports is not cricket in India right now. ठीक है.
Exactly.
तो अभी जो भी चीज हो रहा है इंडिया में, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द स्पॉन्सर्स कम फ्रॉम मार्केटिंग बजट. अब मार्केटिंग का सिंपल फंड है कि उनको रीच चाहिए. ठीक है. तो एग्जैक्टली हाउ थिंग्स आर वर्किंग, इफ यू हैव रीच, देन लाइक इट्स नॉट अबाउट ई-स्पोर्ट्स. बाकी आप दूसरे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स को देखो अदर फील्ड्स में, सब जगह पे ज्यादा रीच है, जिसके पास, आपके पास इंस्टाग्राम में ज्यादा फॉलोअर्स है, यूट्यूब में ज्यादा सब्सक्राइबर्स है, यू विल गेट मोर स्पॉन्सर्स. एंड इंडिया में अभी और को ज्यादातर उसी पे स्पॉन्सर मिल रहे हैं. There are a few companies like Gigabyte or us in look, they are supporting grassroots level में, but not everyone dares to do that, not everyone wants to do that.
Yes,
so ultimate फंडा ये है कि आप जीत भी रहे हो तो आपको साथ में, आपको या तो आप ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म में जीत रहे हो जो प्लेटफॉर्म को लाखों लोग देख रहे हैं, या फिर आप जीत के अपने लिए एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बना ले कि यू आर बीइंग वॉच्ड बाय मिलियंस. सो अल्टीमेटली स्पॉन्सरशिप वहीं से आना है. इट हैज टू बी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रीच, वेरी फ्यू ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ, आई वुड से, विनिंग. बट एक चीज है कि आप जीतते हो, देन यू बिकम पॉपुलर एंड देन यू गेट दैट रीच. सो इट्स अ साइकिल वैसे तो. ठीक है.
Yes.
बट लाइक जीतते ही लोग सोचते हैं कि अब तो जीत गया तो मनी फ्लोइंग इन, दैट्स नॉट गोना हैपन बिकॉज इट्स नॉट मेन स्ट्रीम राइट नाउ. हाउ टू रीच आउट टू स्पॉन्सर, आई थिंक जनरली वो बहुत बात की बात है, बिकॉज फर्स्ट यू नीड टू हैव अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग केस. So I would say कि उसके बाद there are different mediums, is LinkedIn, you just need to study around, तब तो आपको अपने आप पता चल जाएगा. And lot of time you get offered सामने से, when you're popular, when people are talking about you, obviously every company, every sponsor would want to associate with you, तो सामने से भी जवाब आता है. And I think, yeah, these were the two questions.
Yes, so moving forward, I have some questions for you, all of you guys, Mamba sir, Ketan, that your vlogs are really loved a lot, but vlogging and the back end of it, you shoot, then you have a lot of things to do at the back end, and you guys are very consistent with all of this. So how do you manage? Because being in the front line, you are very busy. Everybody is very busy in the front line. So how do you manage your consistency with vlogs? Because you are everywhere on YouTube, I would say. So is it so? Any kind of special thing that you do?
Ketan first.
So first of all, ब्लॉग के बाद वाली जो आपने बात बोली एडिटिंग का, तो आई थिंक कि वो एक बहुत मेजर पार्ट होता है. जब आप एडिटिंग करते हो, यू हैव टू फिल्टर आउट कि तुम्हारे पूरे दिन में तुमने जो शूट करा उसमें से क्या चीजें बाहर निकालनी है. सो कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि 20 मिनट का शूट होता है, उसके बाद ट्रिम करके 5 मिनट का हटता है, 50 मिनट्स का यू मेक अ व्लॉग एंड यू अपलोड. बट वो जो एक 15 मिनट का, मान लो कि कभी पूरा बना वीडियो, कभी कभी 1 घंटे का भी बन जाता है, तो उसमें भी आपको ऑल्टर करके डाउन. सो यू हैव टू गो थ्रू विद दैट फुटेज. 1 आवर तो आपका लगेगा ही लगेगा. ठीक है, 1 आवर का तो फुटेज है, वो तो आप टाइमलाइन में देखने ही वाले हो. बट व्हेन यू स्टार्ट एडिटिंग, तब आपको पता नहीं है क्या निकालना है, क्या डालना है. देन द ट्रांजिशन कम्स इन, देन द बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक कम्स इन, देन द रेंडर पीरियड टाइम. सो ये सारी चीजें मिला के 2.5 घंटे से 3 घंटा, कभी एक अच्छा व्लॉग हो तो बन जाता है, वरना तो 2 आवर्स के अंदर you complete each and every process. So for me, it's like I'm the only one who edits my blog. Just Mamba का है, we have a professional editor जो पूरा के पूरा सामान, जो भी पूरे दिन का शूट होता है वीडियो पार्ट, वो एडिट करके डालते हैं. So I guess Mamba वो चीज बेहतर बता पाएंगे कि when you have a editor, how you have to get best out of him, because वो भी एक you can say आर्ट है कि आपका दिमाग आपके एडिटर के साथ मैच होना चाहिए. मेरे लिए तो इट इज इजी कि मेरे को किसी को कॉल करके नहीं बोलना है कि भाई इस वाले पार्ट में ये करना है, कि एज अ क्रिएटर यू नो हाउ टू गेट दैट वीडियो एडिटिंग डन. आप खुद कर सकते हो, आपके दिमाग में है, बट इफ यू वांट टू गेट इट, देन यू आल्सो हैव टू गेट दैट पार्ट इन माइंड कि आपको एडिटर से काम करवाना है और वो एक ही रात है आपके पास।
Exactly. क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा, this is very short term. Editing is not one thing. There are a lot of things when you vlog, when anybody vlogs. Yes. And there is one more question again. So the question is to the 8-bit team that what is the motive behind launching 8-bit creatives? Is there any kind of pre-story or pre-thing?
So yeah, so 8-Bit Creatives is the talent agency that manages all these creators that you see right now. So basically, 8-Bit Creative is the talent management agency that I run alongside 8-Bit Kohli, and we manage all the creators. So it has initially when 8-Bit started, we started as an esports team and all that, but because of a lot of conflicts that were coming into place because of the tournament organizer rules and regulations, and because I was involved with Soul as well, and so we decided to just kill the 8-bit esports part and merge both Soul and 8-bit and form Team SAQL. And 8-bit Creatives are always a standalone venture by me for managing talents across India, gaming talents specifically. It was made specially for gamers just because I'm a gamer myself. I could understand their needs really well. I could able to design the campaigns for brands and just merge everything so really well that it worked really well for me. And then that's when I decided to make it standalone agency and named it 8-bit Creatives. So I think there's no real story behind it. It's just the name of my company. That's 8-bit
Okay,
Creative.
I thought there was something,
Yeah, so it was like 8-bit was used to exist, and then when we killed 8-bit to form SATUL by merging, and that's when I had my separate venture going on, which was always there.
Okay. Yes, sir. So now again, coming back to K18, there is a fan asking you out that how do you manage so much amount of energy in all of your platforms? You handle your Instagram, you handle your every platform, YouTube, and how do you manage that much amount of energy? There's a question from your fan.
I don't think of you can say I'll get tired once I'm done with that. अगर 3 काम कर रहे हैं तो उसके बाद ऐसा नहीं है कि uh, have you ever heard कि रोहित शर्मा ने 264 मारे and उनके इंटरव्यू से मैं बहुत सीखा था कि once he completes his 100 like 100 run once he completes that 100 run तो वो अपनी 100 के बाद जो एक पहला रन मारते हैं देयर ऑन ही स्टार्ट्स हिज सेकंड इनिंग्स मतलब ऐसा सोचते हैं कि मैं वापस से बैट करने के लिए आया हूँ एंड आई एम स्टार्टिंग दैट फ्रेश तो मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है कि अभी कभी ऐसे एक काम कर रहा हूँ उसके बाद ये नहीं सोचता कि यार दूसरा काम तीसरा काम भी करना है जस्ट थिंक इट कि लाइक फ्रेश ओके वन वर्क इज डन एंड जंप इट द सेकंड वन अगर ज्यादा सोचोगे यार 3 काम कर लिया आज के दिन का हो गया वंस यू हैव दैट स्टैंडर्ड्स कि इससे ज्यादा तो मैं नहीं कर सकता थक जाता हूँ मैं तो वो एक छोटा जो एक दिमागी दिस इज ओनली comes into your mind when you are you can say thinking about a lot of stuff doing in a day कि एक दिन में इतना सारा काम करना है तो इस तरीके से आप छोटा छोटा काम बांट सकते हो कि I have 2 hours of live stream for loco and after that I have to do now YouTube as well so I can do that simultaneously with an application I save 2 hours over there and अगर मेरे को कभी exclusive streams करनी है लोगों के लिए then I have extra time at night once I'm done with editing a Q&A session over there so छोटा छोटा अपना पार्ट पूरा बांटना होता है किस तरीके से आपको अपना दिन निकालना है I always plan my next day a day before like एक रात पहले ही मैं सारी चीजें सोचता हूँ कि हाँ कल मेरे को ये करना है so I have to check all the boxes before I sleep and I have to write write it another one for the next day too.
Okay, so that is all about like you make a timetable and time management is the key.
Yes,
which
yes.
It's been said, time management is the key. Okay, so what do you think? What was your experience? I'm going to ask again to you guys that what was your experience a couple of days before with us as a university? Because we created we were in a part, you were a part of esports carnival with Chandigarh University. So how I want to really hear about that, kind of experience that you had with us. Thug sir and Mamba sir.
Thug.
Mamba. Okay.
Because he can tell it better. No, that's why.
No, I mean like I think that ki jo experience है, it was am I muted? I think the experience has been really good overall. इतने time से what I have been doing in this industry, what I was able to do with you guys I think it's just the start of what lot more is to come. But I would just say एक बात बहुत मैं बोलना चाहूँगा कि there is nothing that can be paced up. You know, everything has to go very slow because the entire reason being that I feel कि थोड़ा सा saturation नहीं बोलूँगा, but you know people are entering, but there's not, and like I coming back to the same part, is not enough to take away. So this small steps that we are taking, that we are taking in Asset 28 bit at Chandigarh University is taking today, the reason why we have called this panel, the reason why we are able to do this, I believe that it's just a starting step. Everything for me is a starting step. मैं कुछ भी ये नहीं बोलता, you know, कोई भी एक टूर्नामेंट के लिए कोई बड़ा टूर्नामेंट होता है या एक वेंचर पे बड़ा वेंचर होता है, बोलता हूँ ये भी एक स्टार्ट है. बिकॉज इफ यू सी द वेस्ट, वहां पे जिस लेवल का मनी है, जिस लेवल का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फ्लोर है, वी आर नोवेयर क्लोज, मतलब वी आर नॉट एट ऑल क्लोज. So everything of this kind is a start, and I would say that the experience has been really good so far. It's just that then we need more people who understand that this is a long-term game and this is not a thing short of short-term and quick money. I think this is the most important part.
Okay, so yeah, that is all been said. Also, there are a lot of people asking a lot of things, and one of the things are, how how come you guys have sub? It's a very repetitive kind of question in the genre. It is that content creation is such a diverse field. You all being content creators, you might have felt sometimes hatred or some hate comments. How do you guys deal with it? That is very, that is the kind of question that everybody wants to hear, because as a young content creators, people do feel, have it a little bit. So how do you guys cope up with that, everyone?
बहुत देर बाद मेरे फील्ड का सवाल पूछा है तो
I mean, like that has been Mamba since 2019.
मैं बोलूंगा मामा बोलेगा.
So the thing is यार देखो मतलब हेटरेट तो एक ऐसी चीज है कि मतलब I learned this a very hard way, and in realize मतलब in making me realize this हमारे जो co-owner है गोल्डी भाई, उनका बहुत बड़ा हाथ है इस चीज में. He's a very nice guy. The thing is कि उन्होंने ये चीज मेरे को समझाया, मतलब ये चीज तो बहुत पहले से पता था कि if you have supporters you will have haters too, right? कि ऐसा तो कह नहीं सकते कि शाहरुख खान की दुनिया में सिर्फ सपोर्टर्स ही हैं, फैंस ही हैं. सो द थिंग इज कि जब भी कोई हेटर आता है, हम लोगों का सीन ये रहता है कि फॉर अस गेमर्स, उनके लिए हेटर्स इज अ वेरी बिग थिंग टू फेयर, बिकॉज वी आर द ओनली वंस अमंग द लॉट, जिनको आप इन्फ्लुएंसर्स बोल सकते हो, जो कि लाइव स्ट्रीम करते हैं. एंड उनको अगर कोई अगर तारीफ भी लेनी है वो भी लाइव स्ट्रीम पे लेनी है, और अगर हेटरेट लेना है तो वो भी आपको डील करना है ऑन दैट वेरी स्पॉट. तो वो चीज बहुत मुश्किल होती है कि आप से फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपके अंदर ट्रिगर मैनेजमेंट बहुत ज्यादा है, यू कैन गो ऑन टू लाइक एब्सॉर्ब दैट हेटरेट फॉर लाइक 10 to 15 टाइम्स. क्योंकि ऐसा होता है व्हेन यू आर प्लेइंग, तो आपको कोई मतलब आपको कोई सुपर चैट करता है, अप्रिशिएट करता है, और वो भी आपको देखना होता है, आपको नॉर्मल चैट भी करना होता है, बिकॉज नॉट एवरीबडी इज एबल इनफ टू सुपर चैट यू और एवरीथिंग. तो अगर हम एक बार अपना सर उठाते हैं और देखते हैं नॉर्मल चैट की तरफ, और आपकी नजर एक ही कमेंट पे गई एंड दैट टर्न्स आउट टू बी अ हेट कमेंट, तो मतलब पूरा माइंडसेट जो है हिल जाता है, तो अब जो है 10-15 टाइम के लिए तो आप उस चीज को बेयर कर सकते हो, एब्जॉर्ब कर सकते हो, बट फॉर मी मैं 16th टाइम में मैं मतलब पूरा मेरा ब्रेकेज आ जाता है. सो द थिंग इज कि मतलब वो चीज ऐसा है कि every gamer should work on, because if you send up a message that you are getting triggered by hatred, so the people who spread hate, they'll get enjoyment out of it. They'll try to trigger you more so that they can get the enjoyment कि जो है आज मैंने इसको trigger किया, तो yeah, so that thing is very मुश्किल. but yeah, as a YouTuber and as a live streamer, क्योंकि ये दुनिया में हर इन्फ्लुएंसर का हेटर होता है, लेकिन लाइव स्ट्रीमर्स के लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है, बिकॉज उनके लिए फीडबैक आता रहता है एंड दे हैव टू रिस्पॉन्ड इट एनी हाउ, they cannot escape it. So yeah, लेकिन करना पड़ता है क्योंकि that is our work. अब ऐसे ही हम लोगों का चलता है, रोज स्ट्रीम करना होता है 365 days a year, तो इस चीज को आदत डालना ही पड़ता है. नहीं
yes sir, that is the ये तो सबसे ज़्यादा every content creator has that same notion that everybody gets a hate and you have to accept that, not accept, but you have to be very intuitive about what you say. That is one of the things, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So next question, we have talked a lot of things, like how are we as a country, how are we going, and but if I have to ask you guys that if you have to forecast for next 5 years, that how this specific industry will go, or in next 5 years, any kind of forecast that you would rather think that as a country we will do better, or there would be some things that you would like to see in next 5 years?
I would say next 5 years, thoda sa और legalization of this entire. It's already legal, but more acceptance. I would say on the legal front, on the governmental front, हम लोग को थोड़ा सा और acceptance मिले for gaming, and obviously थोड़ा सा demarcation हो जाए on skill-based gaming and RMG, so that we know where we stand and we can stand out, and maybe where other countries are getting a chance to represent their countries in Asian Games. Asian Games में तो India ने भी represent किया था, we had a bronze medal as well. But थोड़े से और government के side से अगर support मिले, I think that is what I'm looking for. Corporate side is sorted, I feel, क्योंकि already we are seeing a lot of interest flowing in, but वो corporate side interest sustain तभी होगा when we have most of coming in from the government. So I think just that with time I think acceptance होगा. I recently saw India Today ने अभी एक ESPL बोल के event किया था जिसमें we had so many ministers participating. I think there were a lot of education chief ministers specifically जो involved हुए थे. Like अभी कल जो दिल्ली में event था उसमें Deputy CM of Delhi Manish Sisodia was a part of it, and he also said that they're ready to support every initiative that they take. So with so much of on the governmental front अगर हमें support मिल रहा है, I think we'll be there in next 5 years. is just कि इस चीज को sustain करना, and it should not turn out to be a bubble basically.
I know that.
Yes, sir. Also, now again, heading to that same point, 8-bit, again talking about 8-bit, that you have reached to a point of success, but that success story has very, were there any instances when you were emerging as a group of people, in the very same field? Were there any instances where you felt very low because this field is not very explored and wasn't explored earlier too? Because
I would say for us, like, see, success, this is not like, we don't term this as success, because for us, like, this is just short term. Like अगर मैं बोलूँ कि आज हम ये 8 successful है, it's just short term. Our goal is something big. It needs to be something revolutionary, because if we are the flag bearers and front runners of this entire gaming thing in India, then अगर आज हम लोग successful बोल रहे हैं, then it's just short term. So I would not say that we are successful. I would say we are trying to build something that gets termed as a proper success. ठीक है? And I think the best part about downsides तो देखो आते ही है. There are teams breaking up and stuff happening, everyone coming from different backgrounds, different places, staying together, working together. Obviously differences आते हैं, downsides आते हैं, but it's just that because our passion drives our will and drives our energy, so we all are just trying to stay around and stick around. So I think that is it.
Bifurcating this question, in the initial stage, did you had some lot of people like financial analysts and everybody in your team when you were starting? Like, did you had, because if a new
group... I think obviously like if you see as a startup and also you are not making too much of money, तो financial analyst की सबका जरूरत नहीं है. But myself being from the finance background, I was able to guide some of my creators well and also work for myself. So वही है. So I think that was the little bit of upside that we had. I would say is front way.
Okay. And there is one more question that. Thug sir, when are you going to give away your sneakers? Because your sneakers have a hype.
I'm still in the collective phase. Once I'm done with my collection and once I think हो गया life में नीचे, then पक्का. But sneakers are like very true to my heart. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि ऐसे give away करूँ.
I have seen sir.
I can always buy someone a fresh pair of sneakers, but don't ask me to give away my pair of sneakers.
Okay, yes, that is because you're a collector, right? But we guys are enjoying that sneakers wala vlogs and everything. That is we are enjoying. So yes, and last question that I would like to ask you, winding up with everything, one liner success mantra. All of you guys in the field, like you were in the field of management, you were in the field, sir, Mamba sir was in the field of blogging and etc. Ketan sir in commentator and everything, in that genre. So what is that one liner that you would like to give to young or anybody out there? Everybody.
I think Ketan, Mamba.
Okay, so from my side, there's always been one advice कि just be consistent and just prove to be yourself. कि अपने आपसे बस एक बार थोड़ा सा जितना सच्चाई बना के रखोगे, जितना ट्रुथफुल रहोगे अपनी तरफ से, अपने काम के लिए, उतना ज्यादा लाइक यू कैन सी समथिंग कमिंग बिग कमिंग टुवर्ड्स यू. एंड कंसिस्टेंसी, ऐसा लोग सोचते हैं कि देयर इज ऑलवेज अ कंसिस्टेंसी ब्रेक इन बिटवीन क्रिएटर के लिए. ऐसा नहीं होता है. बहुत सारे लोग सोचते हैं कि डेली व्लॉग डालना इज अ कंसिस्टेंसी. मैं नहीं मानता वो चीज. आई जस्ट वांट, मैंने ये बहुत लोगों के इंटरव्यूज भी देखे हैं. वी रिग्रेट डूइंग दोज यू कैन से रेगुलर व्लॉगिंग वगैरह करना, जो भी एक फेज रहता है. बट आई डोंट वांट टू गो इनटू दैट कि मैं 365 डेज व्लॉग करूंगा. बट मेरे को उससे बेटर करने की, उस चीज में और कैसे मैं अपना बेटर वर्जन निकाल सकता हूँ कि मैं आई विल वर्क लेट्स से 2 वीक एंड आई विल टेक 4 days ऑफ, सो दैट मैं एटलीस्ट रिफ्रेश हूँ. मैं उस ड्रेनेज, अपने सैचुरेटेड मूड से वो वीडियो नहीं बना रहा हूँ कि आज कुछ ना कुछ जाना ही है. सो उस फेज के साथ आई डोंट थिंक सो कि यू कैन वर्क a lot of if in efficient way. बट अगर आप थोड़ा सा अपने वर्क रूटीन को, अपने शेड्यूल को जितना बेहतर समझोगे, उतना आप अच्छे से पुट इन कर पाओगे.
Like quality is always better than quantity, right? Yes. Mamba sir, like any one liner that you would like.
अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, मुझे ये लगता है कि आपके जो हसल होता है उसमें कंसिस्टेंसी होनी चाहिए. वन शुड नेवर स्टॉप हसलिंग, क्योंकि नथिंग कम्स फॉर फ्री. अगर मतलब लोगों को दूर से देख के लगता है कि से फॉर एग्जांपल, मतलब us three we have like 1 million subscribers each approximately. So हर किसी को लगता है कि दूर से देखने में कि यार ये लाइफ है, बिकॉज वी लिव वेल. हम लोग ब्लॉग में दिखाते हैं कि हम लोग घूम रहे हैं, मजे कर रहे हैं, मस्ती कर रहे हैं, लेकिन दैट कम्स विद अ प्राइस. एक जो पॉइंट था जो कि मैं मिस आउट कर गया था कि जैसे केतन है, वो अपने ब्लॉग खुद एडिट करता है, तो दैट शेड्स सम लोड आउट ऑफ हिज लाइक वर्क लाइफ, नो. बट मेरे सीन में होता है कि आई एम वेरी पैशनेट टूवर्ड्स लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग, तो मुझे वो रोज करना ही होता है. मुझे वो, मैं नहीं करता हूँ, मुझे अजीब सा लगता है. जनता वांट्स ब्लॉग फ्रॉम माय साइड बिकॉज उनको मेरे ब्लॉग में ह्यूमर पसंद है, तो मैं वो भी रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ एंड देन फिर मैं अपने एडिटर को देता हूँ एंड देन आई वेट ऑन हिम कि वो मुझे सही टाइम पे दे एंड देन आई हैव टू स्टे अप ऑल नाइट ताकि वो सही चीज़ सही तरीके से करे एंड देन फिर मुझे वो खुद अपलोड करना होता है क्योंकि वो हर रोज़ 12 बजे जाना होता है दिन में. सो और फिर मुझे 4 5 6 घंटे की नींद मिलती है. सो वो चीज़ डज नॉट कम्स फ्री, नो.
Yes.
सारी चीज़ें एक तरीके से आती हैं एंड मेरा चैनल का ही अबाउट में आप जाओगे तो वहाँ पे देखोगे कि क्रिएटिविटी नीड्स करेज. कि मतलब लोगों के दिमाग में एवरीबडी कैन बी अ वेरी गुड कंटेंट क्रिएटर, क्योंकि उसके दिमाग में आइडियाज आते हैं. इट्स जस्ट अबाउट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. इफ यू हैव द गट्स टू इम्प्लीमेंट इट, वॉट एवर यू हैव इन माइंड कि आज यार कि मतलब मैं ये बना सकता हूँ, जो आपके दिमाग में आ गया, प्रेजेंट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द पीपल एंड देन यू गो बैंग ऑन इन फ्रंट ऑफ योर ऑडियंस और दे लाइक इट फॉर श्योर. बिकॉज आपकी क्रिएटिविटी जो है फजूल की नहीं होती. कुछ जो आप सोच रहे हो तो उसका कुछ ना कुछ तो वर्थ होता है और लोगों को भी पसंद आएगा. वो आपकी क्रिएटिविटी होती है कि आप उसको किस तरीके से दिखाते हो. सो या एवरीबडी शुड हसल कंसिस्टेंसी में एंड अपनी क्रिएटिविटी को हमेशा एक शॉट जरूर देना चाहिए.
Yes sir, completely. Hug sir, anything you would like to say?
आई वुड से कि मतलब मेरा तो देखो, इफ यू आर गेमिंग पीओवी से अगर देखोगे, आई वुड से कि बैकअप रखना हमेशा. व्हेन इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू परस्यू गेमिंग, ऑलवेज हैव अ बैकअप. एंड बाकी यार पैशनेटली करते हो करो, देयर इज नो हार्म, बट हैव अ बैकअप यार. गेमिंग के लिए लड़ाई झगड़ा जिद घर में, you know, don't create a scene out of it. That's
Yes.
majorly when you bring gaming into a very bad front. मतलब हमने भी किया, काफी लोगों ने किया, पर हमने कभी लड़ झगड़ के नहीं किया. there's always a peaceful process to get your things done. and अगर कुछ चीजें होती है जिसमें नहीं मानते तो नहीं मानते. I mean like, you know, because सब लोग का major questions that I'm getting bombed, I get bombed by is like device नहीं है, ये नहीं है, mom dad नहीं मान रहे. तो यार नहीं मान रहे तो move on. मतलब I would say there's one simple thing, move on. because कुछ चीजें हैं which are important. I know a device is important to perform at that level. नहीं है, डोंट ट्राई. मतलब दे आर बी हियर बैड न्यूज, कोई भाग गया, ये कर लिया, यूजिंग उल्टा फुल्टा क्रेडिट कार्ड, ये वो. डोंट गेट इनटू ऑल दैट स्टफ. इट्स नॉट वर्किंग आउट फॉर यू. यू नो योर सर्कमस्टेंसेस बैड बेस्ट. इफ योर पेरेंट्स कैन नॉट अफोर्ड a good PC or a good device, that means it's not for you. मतलब हर पैशन जस्ट मतलब because if I have a hoarse voice and then I know singing is not for me, तो मुझे अच्छे से अच्छा माइक दिला देगा, but it would not change my case, you know. तो वो मतलब नहीं होता. So you should understand what is meant for you, what is not. and बाकी if you're passionate, कहीं ना कहीं लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ dots connect हो जाएंगे and you'll be able to follow your passion. but उस चक्कर में अपने बाकी चीजों को spoil मत करो. have a very balanced approach to your work and your life, I would say.
Yes, Truly. Thank you so much. Now it's a vote of thanks to all of you because I'm really feeling honored to having been talking to you all guys, because I think there are a lot of people who don't get chance to interact with you guys personally, and I have done that in person, and I'm honored by this. I would like to thank all of you and lots of love for your future ventures and whatever you do, from all the fan side, lots of love, and do whatever, you're doing best out of what, you know the things are. You said that the success is short term. We hope that you reach, the zillion times better than what you are having right now. Thank you, and thank you everyone for joining us. I also thank our institution, that is Chandigarh University, for organizing this event, and especially giving us all a chance to clear all of our doubts. This was your host Yash, and with all of the guys you remember, Edward Thug sir, Mr. Mamba sir, and Mr. K18. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Vinay. Thank
much.
you, Yash.
Great
मैं
job.
बताऊंगा कि मैं कब आ रहा हूँ. ये होता है ना वहाँ पे, पता है मेरे को, मेरे मामा की शादी हुई है ऐसे, मामा के मामा की. अभी तो कह रहा हूँ. क्या है मन में? हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल. भाई तो मन की बात जाती नहीं है, मन से बाहर भी निकलना होता है, निकला ही नहीं कभी. हाँ बिल्कुल. आऊँगा तो बता दूंगा. ठीक है.